All right, everybody, welcome back. It's another collection video here, and I cannot believe I looked through all of my old videos, and there's Indy. I looked through all my old videos, and I don't have a video about my Kiss collection. Kiss was really the band that got me into rock and roll and heavy metal when I was a kid. This is such an embarrassing story, but I'm going to tell it. Because it's a good story. I went to the CD store in the mall with my mom, and I asked the guy, do you have that song that goes, I wanna rock and roll all night? And he goes, and party every day. And that was how I got my first Kiss CD. And of course that is transfigured into my record collection because I like Kiss. And say what you will about Kiss, when they were making records and it was all 4 original members and stuff, and before all this brouhaha with the lip syncing and stuff, there was a time when Kiss was indeed, a respectable band. And they do have some good music, I will give them that. So this is my Kiss collection. Right here off the bat, we have the first Kiss album here from 1973, and I think this is an original pressing because it's kind of hard to see down there, but this does not have Kissin' Time as part of it. Casablanca made them put the single Kissin' Time on this record later on to make it more marketable because this record did not sell well when it first came out. So I think that's an original pressing. I gotta check the serial numbers. Indeed. I gotta check the serial numbers, but I think that is indeed correct. So there's that. Also, Ace Frehley's hair is spray painted here, which is pretty hip, which is pretty cool. Well, actually, no, it's not. That's actually very bad to do with your hair. And Peter Criss's makeup here was done by a professional makeup artist, not himself, which is why it looks so different. I think of all the Kiss records, this is probably one of my favorites. This is just a great, good old school record. Hotter Than Hell, the second album, which I think was released not too long after the first. This one was designed to look like a Japanese manga, Japanese comic book, and another great, cool find. So I have 3 of these. I have 3 Kiss Alives. One of them is indeed an original pressing, and I think it's this one, because it just says Alive. It doesn't say 2 record set on it. But this was a big album when it came out because Kiss, the problem they ran into with the first 3 Kiss albums was that people were like, well, it doesn't really sound like you guys. And Casablanca was on the brink of bankruptcy. Their manager, Bill Aucoin, had holes in his suits and his socks. He was putting everything on the company credit card and his own personal credit card as well. So, yeah, everything was kind of riding on this record. And they just happened to capture some magic. And it was loud and big. And it's right there. That's what saved Casablanca. Those people and the fans really did, save it in the end. I love this back image. I think this is one of the coolest back images you can have on a record. It's just so unbelievably cool. And, very neat. And I'm very happy to have first pressing of this. So one of them I bought when I was, I think, still in middle school, and the other 2 were given to me as a gift. So that's pretty cool. Kiss Destroyer. I've already talked in length about Kiss Destroyer and how much this album changed the band and everything, produced by the amazing Bob Ezrin, who worked with Alice Cooper, Pink Floyd, among numerous other artists and bands and things like that. Kiss Destroyer, great album. Obviously, with the real runaway hit for the band, which was Beth, that song kind of cementing the band into the populace, really, because, Kiss, obviously, when they first came out, that image really did turn a lot of people off, and then the radio started playing the song Beth, and people were so surprised that it came from this band, and, even as a kid, when I heard Beth, I was like, this isn't Kiss, and then, over the years, it's quickly become one of my favorite songs. I have 2 copies of Rock and Roll Over Again. One of them was a gift. This one, some days I really like it, some days I really don't. There's a rumor, and I think it might actually be true, that they recorded the entire album in an abandoned hotel, and Peter Criss was in the elevator, and they had a video camera hooked up with like a little speaker so he could hear the rest of the band. I don't know if that's true or not, but this one was produced by Eddie Kramer. who had worked with Jimi Hendrix at Electric Ladyland Studios. And Kiss were big fans of Eddie Kramer. They really liked his work and what he had done with Hendrix. So working with him was a great joy for them. I have 2 copies of Love Gun. One, can you guess, was a gift. But this one was like the peak of Kiss in America and their popularity. Kiss was hotter here than they would ever be, I think, ever again. This was just the peak of everything. And look at that cover. That is like, you know, when I was a kid and I was kind of finding my music taste, like this just spoke to me. I was like, I want to be Gene Simmons. I want to play guitar like Ace Frehley. You know, like this image was just like burned in my retinas of what I wanted to be. I have, of course, again, I have multiples of a lot of these. But I'm happy I do, because one of my Alive 2 records is scratched. So, and I think it's like, the way it worked out was like, the ones that aren't scratched are the ones that are scratched here. So you have to have both in order to get a complete concert. But this was an interesting one, because this was kind of where the wheels started to come off for Kiss. They were spending a lot of money, they were merchandising a lot, and this was where things kind of started to take a dip. They were still the powerhouse that they were, but this was kind of where the cracks started to show, and success was kind of getting to them. And then they had the fiasco that was the Kiss solo albums, which everybody in the band wanted to do a solo record. They were ready to break up, and then Bill Aucoin had the brilliant idea, hey, let's each of you do a solo record. I only have the 3. I still need Paul. Each of you guys do a solo record. We'll, like, quadruple ship everything, and that was not a good idea, because Ace really only had the good record. The other 3, not that great. The only reason I really want the 4th record is so, I gotta be honest, so I could put them on my wall. But Ace Frehley's record is absolutely fantastic, and there are some good 1 or 2 tracks on the other 3, but Ace's record is really the one that does shine. And I think once I get to that Paul record, that'll look really good up on my shelf. And these all came with the posters, which I was very lucky with. Another one that came with the poster was this Dynasty record. Now, I had never really listened to Dynasty until I got it on vinyl. And when I did, it blew me away. I was like, wow, this is actually not that bad of a record. At this point, Peter Criss was no longer playing on the Kiss albums. They didn't think he was good enough to be on the Kiss records. Indeed. They didn't think he was good enough to be on the Kiss records, and so they got Anton Fig to come in. And, yeah, he would not play on a Kiss record again until Psycho Circus, and even then he only played on 2 tracks. But this was an interesting find, because not only did it have the poster with it, but also the poster, it's all black. And if you get the unedited version, which I don't think was released to the public, they're in straitjackets. And they were like, you can't have that. So they just kind of matted out and painted out the straitjackets. And that was really kind of like, oh, crud, because they were like, we're a family thing now. I think Paul Stanley even said, looking at the crowds, it looked more like Ringling Brothers than it did for Kiss. Final Kiss record I have in my collection is Music from the Elder. And this one is a mixed bag. Much like Rock and Roll Over, some days I like it, some days I hate it. I kind of get what they were going for with this. They brought in Bob Ezrin, who had just got done working with Pink Floyd on The Wall. They were ready to do a Kiss solo album, and sorry, not a Kiss solo album, a Kiss concept album. And you can see it says Music from the Elder. This was supposed to be a TV movie, and they wrote and produced the album and then kind of judged based on its success whether or not to move forward. And obviously they didn't move forward. And, yeah, whole thing crashed and burned. And that's kind of where my Kiss collection ends. I just kind of realized I don't have any non-makeup era Kiss, so I gotta get on that. So, that is my Kiss collection. What do you guys think about it? Leave your comment below. What am I missing? What do I need? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What all and what have you? Thank you guys so much for watching. Please help support this channel by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And I will see you guys next time.